Hey gang, welcome to Stud Pack and welcome back to our shop bathroom project. In our previous video, you saw us install 2 of these shower valve bodies and all of the associated fittings. Now we installed them on some scrap pieces of plywood and some scrap pieces of 2x4, attached it all together to our framing with pocket screws, and this thing is very strong. Once we had all that done, we were able to connect all those fittings to the shower body with PEX tubing, specifically PEX A or Uponor, and we absolutely love it. And that was all made possible with this awesome tool that Milwaukee sent us, their ProPex expander. I'll be totally honest with you guys, we've had a little bit of a delay on this project, which is preventing us from moving forward. Now at first we were a little bummed because we can't keep making videos for you on this project, but it turned out to be a blessing in disguise, and here's why. Remember in the previous video we said we had 4 jobs we're trying to complete before the big move to Texas? Well, now I had some extra time this week. I was able to knock 1 of those out, so I'm down to 3, and that's a huge stress reliever. So you may not see us post for about a week or so, but just know there's a lot going on behind the scenes. And we dislike not making videos as much as you dislike not having them to watch. So with a little bit of free time, we have the opportunity to do some things we don't normally have the time to do. So in our previous video, we had a ton of comments. Probably the most frequent one was that you guys should have put this in a loop instead of an H. We have our 4 body jets right here, and as you can see, they're connected with this red PEX in an H pattern. Yes, the H is laying over on its side, but these 4 pieces of PEX are the same length, and these 2 are the same length. So if each body jet is equidistant from the outlet, then the pressure should be the same, right? So mathematically, we should have the same pressure from each jet. But a lot of you seem to disagree. A lot of you think a loop would have been a lot better right here. Now remember in the previous video, we said we were gonna do this shower later? Well, check it out. We haven't even done it yet. So are you ready to put your money where your mouth is? We're gonna plumb this one up in a loop, turn the water on, and run some tests. So you're gonna be on Team O or Team H? All right guys, our loop is done, and if I were a judge on a PEX routing panel, I'm sending this side to Hollywood. Check it out. We think that looks a lot better than the H style behind us. We got these nice gentle loops. Yeah, we did use a couple of more fittings, but that's fine. And this reminds us of those big old flyovers in Texas, those big old open roads we've been driving on lately. But come over here, this side looks like a crowded street downtown, right? But that's okay, it's still gonna work, and it's good to know that you can fit a lot of PEX and a lot of fittings in a small area if you can't open up the whole wall. So I say we turn this water on. Number 1, we're gonna check for leaks, and number 2, we're gonna start our water flow test. All right, let's turn this water on, see if we got any leaks. All right, no noise is a good sound, right? I think we're good, dude. Right on. Dry as a bone. Now here's something you don't often hear about when you're talking about PEX. So what if we had a leak right here at the male adapter? If this were piped in copper, you could not tighten that. You're gonna have to cut it, repair the leak, and repair it with a coupling. But for all you guys who don't want to learn a new trick, check this out. I can put a wrench on that male adapter and I can tighten it. Now remember, the water's on and the fitting is spinning inside the PEX, no leaks. Try that with copper. Boom, quick wardrobe change. Now let's talk about the other advantage of PEX that I think is really cool. For instance, if I have to get up here and cut that 3/4 inch red line for our hot side, which we actually have to do because we're feeding our hose bib off of it, I can cut the line, install the T, and put it right back without having to worry about the water in the line. If you do that with copper, of course you got to get the water out of there, or for your old timers, just use the old bread trick, right? Yeah, the old bread trick. But we don't have to worry about that with PEX. We can simply put this up there, crimp it on, or use our expander collar, and we're good to go. All right, guys, it's time for the test. Over here, we got Team Blue with the loop, and on this side, we got Team Red with the H. And as you can see, we have 4 buckets placed underneath each one, and we have a little stub out with a 90, and they're pointed into those buckets. All systems are go. We're gonna turn the water on and run the stopwatch for a minute. At the end of a minute, we're gonna get our tape measure and measure how much water is in each bucket. We're gonna see if this side delivers more water, the H side, Or does the loop deliver more water? And we'll be able to tell if this jet, for instance, delivers more water than this jet. Let's turn on the water and start our test. All right, we're going to turn on our 3/4 inch supply valve right here, and they should all come on at the same time.
Tell me when.
Here we go. I'm just going to go for it.
All right.
Cool, man. It's kind of loud in here, isn't it? No clear winner right away, huh?
Nope.
I don't know. I'm liking the H side, but it seems like the flow is bigger on this side where the loop is. Maybe just because we're closer to the valve. So I can tell the middle 2 buckets on both setups have more water in them than the outer 2 buckets. I can already tell that. Oh yeah. Like a third more, quite a bit. And I guess that makes total sense, right? Because the water pressure is having to push up. So these 2 more flow than these 2, whether it's the loop or the H.
3, 2, 1, go.
Look at this. I think there's twice as much water in here than it is in that one.
Well, let's measure it.
All right. All right, let's get our first test results, and we're just going to write the result by each jet. We're going to start with the top left on the H. See what we got, bud? 4, right? 4 inches.
Yep.
Cool. Nice round number. And as a comparison, let's just do the top right. It's 4, exactly the same, which makes total sense. All right, the bottom 2 jets, what do you think it's going to be? All right, that one's 5 3/4, almost a third more volume, right? And this one should be the same. Perfect. All right, let's go see how Team Loop did. All right, now let's see the loop side. This is fun for a Friday afternoon, huh? Oh, a little less, bud. I'm going to say 3 3/4. Interesting, interesting.
It's not looking good for Team Loop.
Nope. Just for fun, I'm going to mix it up, and this one should be 3 3/4. It's actually 4, isn't it? All right, bottom 2 jets. Remember, 3 3/4 and 4. Ooh, look at that. 6 3/4. And the last one, 7. So for whatever reason, the right side, these 2 got a 1/4 more inch of water than the left side, and the left side is where the water enters our loop. Interesting. All right, test number 1 is complete, and it is not what we expected. Check this out. We have 4 different numbers right here. The whole point of the loop was to have equal pressure at all 4 jets, and thus, I imagine, equal volume in each of our buckets, right? But we got the opposite effect, right? We have 4 different numbers right here on this side with the big loop, but over here on the H side, we only have 2 different numbers. The flow is perfectly the same here, and perfectly the same here, and just a little bit more on the bottom. But maybe we plumbed this side wrong. We did a great big Texas size loop, and maybe we were supposed to do a compact Manhattan loop right in the middle. And of course, we are wide open right here, no restrictions. So when we put the body jet on there with the nozzle, with the spray nozzle, and you actually have a control valve, we're going to get a little bit more restriction. Actually, I think a lot more restriction. And we're actually going to show that test later in the video also. But before we replumb this and put our body jets on, we're actually going to run one more test. We're going to run the H side just on its own and the loop side on its own. Same thing with the stopwatch, because maybe one side is stealing water from the other side. All right, test number 2, the H side all by itself for 2 minutes. All right, that's 2 minutes. Let's see what we got. All right, bucket number 1. Remember, it was 4 inches when both were on at the same time. I can tell we're a little deeper. 5. Not too big of a difference, huh? Now, this one should be 5 also. And it is. Exactly 5. All right, let's check the bottom 2 jets. Quite a bit more water in there. 7.5?
Yeah.
Let's just check the other one right now. Should be the same. A little less, huh? 6.5. The plot thickens. All right, cool stuff. Let's go test the Texas loop side. 3, 2, 1, boom. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. All right, look at that. Pretty cool. Again, Bottom jets, way more water. Okay, here we go. Test number 2 with the Texas loop all by itself. Bucket number 1, 5 inches of water. Let's do the other one over here. Top right body spray, it's a little more. It's enough that I'm going to call it 5 1/4, which makes sense because it was a 1/4 inch more on the first test, right? And it's a 1/4 inch more on this test. Hard to write in there. All right, bottom left, 7 1/2. Bottom right, 8. This jet likes whole numbers, huh? Test number 2 is complete, and it confirmed what we kind of already knew, right? We're going to get more water flow now that only one shower is on instead of both of them. But the discrepancy between the upper jets and the bottom jets is still there. And in fact, it's worse over here on the loop side. We have a big discrepancy between 5 inches here and 8 inches on this one. But maybe that's our fault. We did it this way because the path for the water is nice and gradual, fewer fittings, but maybe with PEX, that doesn't matter at all. Maybe it's better to have a more compact loop with more fittings, but a lot less pipe. So let's rip this out, replumb it, and run another test. So we got a lot of questions in the previous video about these fittings and what happens if you mess up. Can you cut them off? You certainly can. You can also use a heat gun, but it's as simple as getting a sharp utility knife. We're gonna make a couple little cuts right here in the clamping collar, and I'm through. You can see it split. One more little one at the top. And that one is free. We're going to pull it off. We're going to make a little slit in the pipe. Obviously, we have to save the pipe. I'm through. It cuts pretty easy, and I'll just pull right off. Cool, huh? All right, last one. That's a lot of clamping rings, dude. All right, gang, check it out. Now, Jordan, I got to admit, that looks pretty professional. We've come a long way on this loop from the one over here. The first time we ever tried PEX on body jets without really knowing what we were doing. This was our first attempt, and then the big Texas loop, right, was our second attempt. And here's our third attempt, what we call the Manhattan loop. Got like a little city block right here, and here's your exit to your subway. Now, I think what I was originally thinking about was minimizing the fittings. That's why we had that big loop feeding the line. All we did now, we added 390s over the previous Texas loop fixture, right? And from what it looks like, we have less pipe right here than we did in this whole half of the loop on this side. But maybe that's what PEX is all about, right? So I say we grab the stopwatch, turn on the water, and give this guy a test. Now originally we were going to come off the supply right here and tee into this vertical branch, just like we did on that big Texas loop way over here in the corner. But we changed our mind and we thought it would be better to supply the middle of the upper loop. That way the water's going to come in here, hit these bottom 2 jets, equalize, come out the top 2 jets, and maybe these can have a chance to catch up because they're lagging behind. All right, Manhattan loop in 3, 2, 1.
I like it.
I don't know yet. Three, 2, 1, stop. Still a lot more in those middle 2, but a lot more.
Overall.
Yeah. All right, top left jet, 4 1/2. Wow, we're right in between the test 1 and test 2.
But I think we're looking for a consistent volume here.
Yeah.
You want the, yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yep.
You're going to go 7 3/8?
Yeah.
Almost exactly what it was on the previous test, 7 1/2. Same.
Yep.
And the last one, upper right jet. We're all over the place. I don't know, man.
I think our plumbing improved.
Our plumbing improved, but still not a consistent flow. Now we can compare the results of the Manhattan loop directly with the results of the H because we ran them both individually. And I gotta tell you, it's not looking too good for Team Loop because the results are about the same. On the top 2 jets, 4 1/2 inches of water, 4 3/4. Over here, 5 inches of water, quarter, half an inch of difference, not too much. On the bottom 2 jets, 7 3/8 on the bottom 2, 7 1/2, 6 1/2. Not enough to be conclusive, but I can hear you screaming at the TV, stud pack, it's not about the volume, it's about the pressure. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna pull all these off of the drop ear 90s, put on the body sprays, and check it for pressure. All right, guys, all the body jets are installed, and we have our super scientific, extremely engineered body jet collection rig right here. Now I think all we need for it, Jordan, is a kickstand at the right angle.
You are the kickstand.
Oh, I am? All right, so I'm gonna duck because I know I'm gonna get a shower before this thing is ready. But why don't you show them the little control knob on top? We can control the volume right there also, right?
Right.
And we haven't tried this at all. This is completely raw. I'm gonna hold this, adjust it as I need it to catch the water, and Jordan's gonna play with the volume.
And you're going to reach your hand over so you can
Right.
actively test the pressure.
Right, exactly. You ready?
Yep.
Let's do it. Okay.
Here we go.
I guess. Oh, I knew it. All right, we all in?
Yeah, this one looks lacking.
Yeah. Oh, point it down. Turn them all wide open. All right, we dumped all the water out, so we're gonna have another test with fresh buckets. And I'm actually gonna reach around while the water's running and see if I can tell a difference between the force of the water coming out of each of those 4 jets. And then we're gonna lay it down, grab our tape measure like before, and check the depth of the water and check for volume.
Ready?
Nice.
All right. So go ahead and reach with your hand and test them.
That's pretty nice. That's... All right, if I had to make an experimental guess, I'm saying the bottom 2 have slightly more pressure.
But isn't that where you want it, you know, for those 2 guys?
Well, it makes sense with our numbers we saw before, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah. Well, a bunch of people said they didn't want to see those 2 guys anymore, remember? Why don't you turn it on again and let it run a little bit longer so we can have an accurate test for volume. All right, let's lay it down and check for depth, and hopefully we're more even. All right, I can already see. It looks like we are. Look at that.
Looks very even.
All right, let's let it settle down a little bit so we get perfect scientific results. All right, 4.5 on the top left jet. Of course, 4.5 on the top right jet.
Nice.
4.
Okay.
That's surprising. Even though we did all that, well, that's 4.5.
Right.
I think we lost a little bit of water out of here.
Yeah, I think you tilted it accidentally and dumped some out.
Yeah, that's all right. So pretty close. Nice. All right, the old Manhattan loop over here, pretty good even pressure, but what about the lonely old H over here? We got to give it a test just to make things fair, right?
Yep.
All right, buddy, I'm ready. Don't get me wet. Nice. Yeah, I'm ready for a shower. Well, actually, I already got one, huh? These seem harder to me. There's more pressure for some reason. Now, the time isn't so critical anymore, right? We just want the depth to be even. Then we know we got equal volume.
3.
3.
3.
3. We're right there.
3.
3. 3. H is the winner, dude. Our first attempt. All right, guys, that's going to complete our testing, and it's not looking too good for the glorified pressure balancing loop that we read so much about in the previous video. But it makes sense, right? Over here on the H, we have only 3 fittings, 7 pieces of pipe, and arguably there's more pressure on this side than the loop side. And speaking of the loop side, check this out. Even though it looks a lot more impressive, we have 8 fittings and 13 pieces of pipe, and who knows how many of these clamping collars. Now, you guys know we read all your comments. We love taking your advice, but we're just not on board with this one. So if you're a plumber out there and you start to see a bunch of these H's showing up around the country, it's going to be okay. Jordan and I had a ton of fun making this video, and it's not very often that we get to go down below in the comments and put your theories to the test. And it's not something you see very often on YouTube. So if you enjoyed this style of video we just made, make sure you let us know by smashing that like button, ask a question, drop another comment, please subscribe, and we'll see you on the very next Stud Pack video.
Where we're hopefully making more progress on this.
Absolutely making more progress. So if you're a plumber...
That's hilarious.
So if you're a plumber out there and you start to see a bunch of these H's showing up around the country, it's going to be okay.